And first time approval of minutes.
There's okay. I just have a little question, Ian. Yeah,
Yeah.
you did it. There was not a heading on this other page, and I said, what are these? You did this, right?
Yeah, what did I leave out?
You left out something important. It's a heading here. Oh, these are vouchers.
Yeah.
Okay. Usually you put the name who
Yeah,
submitted.
they were in there, but for some reason it didn't print.
Oh, okay. That's all. That's all.
We can, it did on.
Just add it up then. I mean, just supply the missing one. Like it's my first time to see vouchers. And
Yeah,
I'm just like,
it's in,
what is this?
yeah, it's in order from Director
Okay,
Black.
let me mark it on our official minute.
Yeah, go ahead, because otherwise it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
Make a note.
Yeah, okay.
okay, so
Otherwise, everything looks good except for the heading or what would you call this? Cheryl, just
minutes.
the minutes assigned branch who owns it or something.
Is it Director Bookmobile?
Yeah,
And then who is the 3,000?
actually, Director Black.
What is that from, Jenna?
It's Director Black, HMC.
No, just now you didn't miss any.
C. And
Jenkins.
then Jenkins.
Then the,
Oh, you didn't find one, Jenna? I know you missed it in the bag.
Neon is 179. Well,
this is.
okay, so I'm looking at the minutes we just did.
Yeah.
So
It's in the same order.
Director Blackie, HMC Jenkins, Neon, and then Bookmobile.
Yeah, and then coffee.
I don't think the Bookmobile spent $21,000. No, that's the total, never mind.
Yeah, that's all that's missing. Other than that, everything looks good.
Okay, I'm glad you did that because we would have been confused.
Yeah.
Total.
Yeah, I don't know why it didn't print out.
You may have to, the fancy pens are new to you. You may have to take the red dot off. the pen.
I needed this one for way.
Oh, thank
This
you.
one, I saw this in my files. I think that belongs to you. I probably.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So the minutes are approved.
All those papers, take out.
Mhm.
Take out of the treasury report.
Okay, Cheryl, can you just pass this around, okay?
Initial. Please.
One from there and one there and then this row. And I already touched
Should we
it.
make Libby give these to her? All her
Yes,
stuff?
please. Yes, please, if there's enough.
Yeah, there's enough. And this one are mine or something?
No, these are. You should have had 3 sets of paper in front of you.
Okay,
Uh,
I'll look at it later,
Okay,
since they're all mixed up. Okay, so my turn.
yes.
You have your thick paper in front of you. Our cash checking is $917,483.72. Our business preferred money market is $505,173.93. CD community trust is $103,887.19. The petty cash is $1,518.18. You have a copy, Ian, right?
Yeah.
Okay. For a total of $1,528,63.02. And if you go to your second page, we have the state account. This one is with the bank. This one is community trust. Cash in bank, that's the one that we pay attention to, is $37,059 and $59.29 for a total of $1,565,122.31.
I can make you a copy of this one. Okay.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Have a motion, your second.
Second,
Second. Who's second, Leon?
Aye.
All second. Director.
Okay, these were sitting in front of your seat when you came in. It looks like this. You just packed it up.
Which one? Oh, this one, okay.
That one right there in your hand. Okay. So we had a handful of deposits. We had the sheriff's property tax for $12,918.38. We had clerk delinquent tax, $1,435.94. Clerk ad valorem, $6,965.26. We had a refund from the US Treasury for taxes that we overpaid. I think it's when we do paycheck taxes for $8.66. We had Department of the Treasury motor vehicles, $6,603.24. Department of the Treasury omitted tangible was $3,709.28. We received the Kentucky Library Association Award for overcoming obstacles, and that's $500. And then petty cash, copies, printouts, fax was $132. And through Square, we received $21.65. Total deposits was $32,294.41. Then we made a few purchases. I mailed copies for a genealogy request. So the postage was $1.98. Tessa bought a programming book from Cavalier Comics for $36. She bought pool noodles from the Dollar Tree for the derby party where she made horses out of pool noodles. That was $35. She bought the video games for the collection for $285.84. Amazon, we'll come back to that, but the total purchases was $883.70. I mailed your board packets for $9.90. Saturday during the movie marathon, there was Little Caesars, and that was $32.45. We bought some building maintenance and janitor stuff from Walmart, and that was $200.52. And then I paid by check for Lighten Enterprises to do the front and back front windows and the back stairwell window. I don't know why that says $16.95 when it was $160 and change.
I was off cheap,
Yeah, I will correct that.
so it's 160.
Yes, I think it was 160 even. So that changes my total a little. Okay, and then on the second page of that, it's the Amazon breakdown. And we're trying to do larger orders, but Amazon is still splitting them up, so I grouped them together. May 2nd, we ordered, and it was the first order with computer hardware. We got some more flash drives for the staff to use. We got the heavy duty ones like this. We also got a external hard drive. We got an external hard drive for me to use for the website and all of the documents that I have to be able to save for years. And we're gonna see how that works, and if we need to, we'll get another external hard drive for things like the newsletter and reports. So, and that was $139.95 for 8 flash drives and a external hard drive, and then $177.06 for some books, and $149.99, and that's marked janitor supplies. That's a steam cleaner that was requested by Ian. It's helping. I don't know if you've been in the bathroom yet, but they're taking the wax, the awful brown wax stains off the floor.
Thank you.
And
Appreciate
then,
that.
because previously, when we tried to clean it up, we'd have to
Fills
use
up.
like, it does. We'd have to use this awful chemical cleaner and a scraper to try and break through it.
Plus it, better health.
Yes. So and that was a total of $467 in that purchase. And then we ordered office supplies, and that was $13.98. It's just a personal mail stamp, like a return address. We ordered more books, $18.46 and $14.99. And then on May 3rd, we ordered more books, $11.59, $15.44, $217.57, and then $19.67. Ian's going through the series books to see like graphic novels and other series, teen books and adult, to see what we need to add and filling gaps. And then on the 5th, we ordered 2 flags for Grace, and that was $105. So total from Amazon, we've spent $883.70, and you can see the breakdown down at the bottom. It's $474.78 on books, $105 on programming, $13.98 for office supplies, $149.99 for janitor supplies, $139.95 for computer hardware, and the total again is $883.70.
You have a motion.
I make a motion.
Okay, a motion been made. Second,
A second.
you have a second. All this, everything, thing out.
Okay.
All those polls, same sign, motion.
Thank you. Get autographs on those, and I will set up microphones for the head librarians. Yep, you're fine. I got one over there that'll just hook into. Please don't anybody trip on this. Okay. Yep. Let me start these around, and before I do, I added an invoice to mine from Total Electric. They replaced one of the sconce shades in the stairwell because one had broken. I swear I thought they were plastic. They look plastic, but they're glass. One of them broke. Nobody was hurt. But we ordered 3 more of those light fixtures so we would have the replacement covers. So that's what I added onto mine, and I'm just going to pass these around while the librarians do their reports. Ian, you want to start this time?
The last month has been really busy. We're still getting donations. We've been working on programming, planning for summer reading and stuff like that. That steam cleaner that we got has been great for getting stuff off the floor. Some of those stains that were black that you kind of mop them up and kind of scrub them, and going right through them. So,
The money will spend.
yeah,
Where do you use it? At the bathroom? Or-
Yeah, you can use it in the bathrooms, you can use it on the baseboards to get the stuff off the baseboards. You can use it to clean pretty much anything.
Do you use
I don't
it
call
a
that
big one?
carpet because it doesn't have a vacuum or anything. It's just one of the ones that sprays the stain and then you scrub it
Do you
afterwards.
use it with your hand or do you have a-
It's a tank and it's got a hose with a nozzle on the end.
Mhm.
And it'll heat up and then it'll spray that steam onto whatever you're cleaning. And then you can take a rag and wipe it up.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and it works really well for that. And it's got a couple of scrub attachments and stuff, so you can scrub up like the wax on the floor. And everything. Then we just started ordering again here. As far as books go, to try to fill some holes in the collection and do stuff like that.
Is there any shortage of them?
There's some of the collections that we've not had as many lately, like our young adult section and some of our graphic novels and stuff. We haven't had as many orders in the last little bit, so we're just filling some holes there. And we have ordered processing supplies for all the libraries, things like label covers and book bags and everything.
And the tape that they make the labels with.
Yeah,
We've ordered one of that.
but
Yeah, you have to have everything back on these days.
yeah, that's pretty much how I start feeling.
Next.
Okay. And me and Ian talked Saturday about kind of how to write it up, put it on the website, about how to contact the bookmobile and stuff. We talked about, so it doesn't take up a lot of room on the website and everything, all the information's there. In a way that they can leave like their name and number and maybe their address, and I can get back to them. Because a lot of times they try to call me during the day, I'm somewhere, there's no signal. And they just call and, if they try to call me, they won't get me.
Yeah,
About half the county, you can't get a signal.
the idea that we had on that was that there could be like a submission form where they could go on and put in their information that would send him an email. And then that way he could
Contact them when I got it.
But where to go.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's good. Was the admin who's taking care of that?
The
For the
website?
import, yeah,
She takes
website.
care of
for
the
the
Website is me.
Yeah, but
Okay,
everything, all the responses can come to me and I can contact them when I get back to the office.
So
and
you
stuff.
go, you get the input
Yeah,
from, oh,
yeah.
that's good.
If they call me on the road and ask me when you gonna be here, I'm driving and I can't do it, so. I have to pull over and I'll get their name, try to call them back later if they get through. It's a lot of hassle that way.
That's good.
Oh, I've got the name of graphic impressions.
Good.
And he said it'd take about 2 weeks.
Okay.
Uh,
Does he have to keep the van the whole time?
no, it could get the stuff down and probably, don't do the whole band.
Well, we don't need to wrap the windows. I don't wanna,
Well, you can, but you can see through it. I can't see
Okay.
it.
I guess just not the,
606 436 0402.
606-436-0402.
Yes,
Okay.
it's called graphic impressions. And he said it'd take about 2 weeks to.
Plan it out.
First of all, you order what's wrong. He does the design.
Okay,
And then have it ready and you say,
okay.
they do church buses, race cars, all, everything.
I'm sure you can do something simple like
Well, he did, they can do everything, cover the whole vehicle or the door or whatever.
okay,
That's wonderful.
thanks.
I read your report and I could see some of your patrons coming back.
Yeah, I got in contact with a few more of them. Some of them, I don't think they're here anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
With the
I
flood.
know a couple of them went by their houses and they're just sitting empty now, so they must be gone for good. Yeah.
Of course, it was in the paper that the government is buying their properties,
Yeah,
so that they could go
yeah.
somewhere and settle permanently.
Is there some place that your schedules drainage or something so that people?
Well, it was, and then I wrote up another one, trying to figure out how to shorten it up a little bit. Just we like put it in the newsletter and stuff, so much, trying to get all the
Okay.
information.
We can put the extensive on the website
Okay,
and then put the brief
Yeah.
in newsletter.
but like on
Tell
some of
people
it,
that they can check the website.
certain areas I go by like more than once a week, I'll be close to the same area. If they can't do it on the day I'm normally there, I could go swing by on another day and just take me just a couple minutes out of my way. And if I'm going to another area,
Because I remember when you got the bookmobile, you had the schedules there on
yeah,
every other Monday and here line for Tuesday and Monday.
and I can't do the exact times and where I go, I run into construction. Sometimes I sit there for 45 minutes, just waiting for lines.
That's
I'm
right.
stuck.
Roads are full, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, I can imagine.
I usually talk to them or I call them that morning. If I'm gonna be late that day, I'll try to call them if I have signal. They're all pretty nice about it.
Have you got a goal set of what you want to achieve and a sort of a timeline of what you
What do you mean?
a goal?
Do you have any goals?
Yeah,
Well, I test more people.
okay, but what's your program for doing it?
Well, once we get the wrap on the bookmobile, people can recognize it then. 'Cause right now, I'm driving up into hollers and people just think I'm just someone driving around. Yeah.
And with people getting shot all over the country just for pulling into the wrong driveway,
It's not good.
I don't,
Not a good idea.
yeah.
Is there any way, I don't know if this is a good idea or not, for you to maybe have one place that you could be there and.
Yeah, I've
you
got
could
places
really-
like that where I sit stuff,
So,
but they just see a van parked there. So that's
yeah,
not the book-
maybe
that's
you
not the
have your
bookmobile,
name and just maybe
Maybe
put it in the, yeah,
Well,
and
you have
put it in the
something
newsletter.
that you have to go to individually.
Yeah,
because they're
yeah.
not
Yeah,
everybody.
something like
You got a
that.
lot of them.
Yeah, that I will be in line for church or Blackie
Yeah,
Presbyterian parking on this day. Those
yeah.
who would like to return your books or other, something like that. Could you maybe do that?
Yeah,
Or is it a good idea to do something
I-
like that?
There's different places I stop all around each day. I think different places I stop, called
Mhm.
community stops.
Yeah, community stuff.
And when
maybe.
people used to come over to it when they saw the bookmobile,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
asking questions and stuff. But
We
now
got those magnets, but they don't stay very
They got
well.
hot in the thing and they've been up and they're misshaped. They won't stick on there good. They get misshapen and stuff.
And I
Yeah,
think
he-
advertising. Or,
Yeah, I think once you get this wrap in there, it's.
Yeah, that-
yeah, and
that'll
also
help.
like you said.
That'll help.
Are you coming to the neon area?
Yeah,
Where are you going?
I go up to Hemp Hill, I go up in Goose Creek, up towards McRoberts and there. and
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Do people
Yeah.
know where your stops are, location?
the one that it used to be on the website. I don't know what else there now.
There's nothing on the website right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
Not
or
for the
maybe at the
bookmobile.
fire department near the library, at the church across it.
Actually, he could park in the library
that-
parking lot.
Yeah,
Or
since
library
it's
parking, huh?
they used to
Maybe
park-
they could.
usually
park
went
at-
away from the library because it was open, but now it's closed. So,
Oh, really? Yeah, so some place like that.
yeah,
I was just thinking that those might have access to it.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we can try to get that community stop the,
Roy's not on Facebook, but I can make a Facebook page for the bookmobile and put where he's gonna be.
That would be-
I would
that'd
have
be
more
good.
activity
good.
with that.
That will be good. That will be a good idea.
One other thing we talked about was the possibility of doing like a YouTube,
Oh, yeah.
like a short for an advertisement for the bookmobile, explaining what it does and where.
And a phone number they can contact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
That'd be good. Just to get the word out, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thanks, Roy.
Well, practically since I'm here, Ian's report is my report. We've been working really hard with the donations. They keep coming in daily. We keep getting phone calls daily, wanting to donate more. we set the book giveaway back up. And we've been sorting through the books and just, there's so many of them, we've just been going through them and separating them out in stacks of these we want, these we'll give away, you know, and marking the boxes accordingly. I've covered probably 500 books, if not more, with the plastic wrap, you know, this month alone. I mean, it's just constant processing and working with the books. So,
They're ready for your new library, Eugenia.
yeah,
Those books need their home.
yeah.
They cannot just be in boxes for a long time.
There's a lot of really good books in that.
Yeah, that's true.
In that we're getting donated. So it's going to be a really good collection.
That's wonderful.
I've already been checking out her books to my paper.
Yeah.
I still be in children's books because I've noticed the
There-
children's books.
Books that we've received that I know I want to check out and I'll forget by the time the honor.
That's true.
Tomorrow, somebody's supposed to be bringing 50 to 100 boxes of books.
We're not gonna put those all in the front window.
Oh, gosh, yeah, please
We have
don't.
to set reminders to
Oh,
go and
please,
look
please,
through
please
them.
don't.
Yeah, no, we're not
No,
Yeah.
no more, it's too much. We like all these donations, but I think they need to be in a certain place and
Yeah.
we need our libraries, period.
Yeah. I was trying to get an update on the elevator, like find out when they're planning to come and do modernization. I got the phone numbers for the people that I need to talk to, but I don't have a date yet. So I will be calling them this afternoon. And I'll try to put an update, send you guys an update individually about that. And that way, when people come in and they're like, oh, your elevator's broken, then I can be like, yeah, it's gonna be fixed this.
It's been a long time too, that's another thing
Be a
too.
timeline when they're, be
Yeah.
there when they're finished.
Well, I know they had to order some stuff and the hydraulic lift is the hardest thing for them to get because it's not like you can just run down to Lowe's and get a hydraulic lift. It has to be ordered specially, and as soon as they have that and the rest of what they need, then they'll get us all scheduled.
So actually, the holdup now is getting,
Their supplies, yeah,
okay,
what they need to get
it's a
in.
supply issue with it.
Yes.
Did they give
Yeah.
you maybe a time frame,
Um,
Rita, or because I know we have approved already.
Yeah,
the
yes, we already
We
approved.
already paid
and-
a down payment or something.
Yes,
But
I'm calling them this afternoon to find out if they can tell me when they're planning to come and do that.
Because
Like if
I
they've got-
think they should report a status on you, like, okay, we have
Yeah,
the hydraulic coming on this date, be
So
sure
by the next
that,
meeting, we should have some dates.
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
hoping.
Or, because I think if we just wait and for them to make the decision, they won't do it. You just need to nag them. We need them. We have handicapped people here. They cannot come to the library. We need
they
the
can-
elevator,
they
you
can
know,
come,
just
they
tell
just can't
them.
go downstairs.
Luckily, greetings came this month and.
I'm
put
glad
the,
it's about
Mini
time.
split in the elevator mechanical room, and they also put the lights on the back of the building. I don't know if anybody saw.
I had that in school.
How-
Kind
how's
of
it
something
working
that
out?
concern.
How's it? I haven't been up here at night to see them yet, but they got them up, what was it, a week ago?
Thursday,
Yeah,
Wednesday or Thursday,
yeah,
maybe Friday.
not too long ago, so.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be nice. They got 3. Out there.
I'll have to,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have that.
It's a shame the city doesn't have lights out there also.
Oh, they have one out there.
but
It
it's,
just doesn't work.
Are those the?
Did it work prior to the flood?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
No, it wasn't working,
It wasn't
It
working
wasn't
this summer.
summer, I don't. I
It never
know,
work, I guess.
It's right there. We can see it easily from in here when the shades are open.
Are
but-
those the motion lines that like they used to,
uh,
that when it's dark, they just come
yeah,
automatic?
it just comes on automatically. It's dark, is what it was supposed to be. So,
Whom do you report it to? to Terry Adams or something? Or-
Report it.
And that to please replace it or
The
something.
city.
Big city.
Oh, it's city,
Yeah,
okay,
big
then
city.
Tiffany Crown,
It's
call
the-
her.
It's the city's parking lot.
Mhm.
It's their light.
Then somebody needs to tell her.
You will. Grace?
Okay, we finally started having a few meetings, which is good. They just work around our boxes and we find places to sit.
Make sure they go to the
West-
bathroom before they come.
Yeah, they have to go use the bathroom. That's another issue, but I'll get to that in a minute. So Westlake Oral History Society, we met we've had 2 meetings. We met the first Monday of the month and then they threw another one in. And normally that is the big thing we do during Blackie Day is we always have a special program and usually our upstairs is full for like 2 sessions and we couldn't do any of that. So, but we did find out, we were just thought we'd lost everything that we collected, but several of them have stuff backed up or have them on a flash drive or something.
Well, it's great.
So they were able to put some notebooks together and to give them a little more space, they set up during Blackie Day over on the Old Baptist Church porch, which was covered. And of course, I was over at the library, so I really don't know. But I've heard lots of people talking about, over there. Elwood Cornick brought something like some old things of his that like 100-year-old side saddle and things like that.
Wow.
But I didn't get to see any of it. But I first said we just wouldn't do anything Blackie Day, but I couldn't do it. So we sat up on the front porch. We gave away book bags, bookmarks, pencils. We had tables of free books. We had 1,000 questions of that flyer you put up, that banner that says, "We'll be opening soon." They'll say, "Been soon." And I'll say, well, obviously not soon enough, but we are going to get there.
They want a date. They want
Yeah, but they do appreciate the library and some of the folks who have been,
I saw the banner, but I thought you guys did that.
we did,
Oh, okay.
we didn't make it, we had to have it, we didn't have anything to make the banner that long. But yeah, but people are wanting to know, and several people who have helped in a way, and a gentleman who you said you didn't know people were that generous that sent a check one month and sent a check the next month for Blackie. He was there, he came to check
Oh,
to see
nice.
what else we needed. And so we had a good, it was a great 2 days. Maybe on Friday night, we all got soaked, but other than that, we didn't on the porch, but it kind of creeped it downpour. And we had our first book club meeting since the flood. And that was good. We had not gotten together and had a book to read. So we just met and we just had a really good discussion on what everybody had been reading and lots of ideas for maybe books to read in the future. And we handed out the books for May, and it's going to be lessons in chemistry. And we meet with oral history. We meet the first Monday of every month at 6, and then for book club we meet the last Wednesday of every month at 6. So we sort of got a set time for that. But and the flags, the reason that I didn't buy one flag that was that expensive, I bought 2. But our community center has been destroyed. There's 2 flagpoles there on our side of the street. And we just felt like since we couldn't, number one, supply a bathroom like we usually do, or really do a lot of the things that we usually do, we just bought a new flag for both flagpoles. And then I just bought 2 Kentucky flags personally to go underneath both of them. So we got the flags up. Right now, we have no air conditioning went out upstairs, but we are on the list every. And the plumbing is getting worse for the day, so we're going to have to go ahead and get that checked. I don't think that can wait. I don't know, but we've been on occasion, you'd have to plunge it, and I'd rather not tell about our bathroom. But some of you have seen it, but it's just, I think maybe the line, since it was working at first right after the flood, but I don't think it's working right now, so I don't know if you want to go ahead and see if, somebody can come check it and be figuring out the plumbing before.
I think we should be ready for opening, so.
Yeah.
Because I don't think
Yeah.
that was not
Yeah,
part,
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think that, cause
No,
but-
The plumbing itself is not part of
yeah.
what
So,
we need
I mean,
someone to do.
it was only if the bathroom had to be done and, the fixtures, but, I think, we need to go ahead and get a jump start on that, cause you're gonna have.
So it's up to the board to go ahead and start,
No,
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 we
it's-
just need to contact the plumber and
so,
just contact Breedings again, or is that?
yeah, that's fine. Go
Yeah.
ahead and contact Reading.
We're on the list for the
Hey.
air.
Just set them on the stove or the counter. Thank you.
I'll just call them when I get back today and
That
ask
sounds
status for the plumbing. I didn't think they'd be open today, and I don't know for sure that they are, but I met a Breeding
Thank you
straight
so
going down
much.
the road. So, I said, they pay.
Yeah.
attention.
Thanks.
But we're just waiting and-
Yeah, it could take
Yeah,
months.
well, there's lots of people getting, I know, I know several people that have houses redone, and they're just now getting people that, have to,
It's no
you have
different.
to just be patient, like, I think maybe the Lord's trying to teach me patience.
That's one thing I want to.
Obviously, I'm
Let me know how
slow.
that goes.
I'm slow. I'm very slow. But we're just glad to be able to be there to serve the people and what little bit we can. And they're glad we are.
We're glad too.
I think you're trying all your best, Grace.
okay,
Well, I mentioned in my report, but I wanted to say it so everybody know about it, about Rita's son graduating from the School of Pharmacy, which is doctored this year. And I haven't met him yet, but he went through his undergraduate work on scholarship, and he has done this all on his own. And he has, of course, he has lots of money to pay back now, but she's really proud of him, and I think it's a really good accomplishment that to take
Is
note
that your
of.
Jennifer?
No,
No,
that is
Rita.
Rita who worked at Neon. She's
Yeah,
Oh,
on
okay,
loan
okay,
from
okay.
Regina,
yeah.
but we love her.
Okay.
So
Her
I'm on
daughter
have to fight
graduated too.
to keep her.
Watch out.
So she works with you in Jenkins?
Yeah,
or-
she's been working with us since we started back, yeah.
She's a part of the staff then? I
Well,
mean,
no,
yeah,
she'll,
yeah.
she'll
Oh,
go back
she's
to
in
Regina.
Regina.
Gets
Oh,
back
I
in
see.
the library,
Okay.
but right now she's working with us, and she's been a good help to us. We enjoy her a lot.
Her daughter graduated that week too.
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
skipped
she
her
had a
gra-
daughter that
Her
graduated.
graduation so she could go to her
All her
brother's.
kids are very accomplished children.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Other than that, we're still getting people that are still sending stuff to FEMA. It's just gets me down because they have to keep sending it. And I so much appreciate that we're able to do this without charging people, because I know it would be
Yep,
a
yep.
real
Yep,
burden
yep.
to them when they have to send them so many times. On the upside, we had a little, Mr. Amber, we had this, it was supposed to be a workshop for writers, but it was kind of like a round table. And we had like 6 or 7 people in the morning, and we had a different group in the evening, but Sam and Regina were there. And I don't know about them, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And of course, I love to read and I love books, but I'm not a writer. But I really enjoyed that. And there was a couple young people that were interested in writing that came to the afternoon session, so that was good too. But Mr. Amberg has been a part of the libraries ever since they've been here. We helped start most of the libraries in this area. So I always try to accommodate them when I can. But I really enjoyed that. And other than that, we've just been doing our regular activities. We're pretty much ready for summer reading and keep doing that ordinary everyday stuff, keep hoping for more people to come back, because since COVID and flood and everything, we've not had as many people as we used to. And that's all I've got.
Thank you.
well, thank you, lady, we appreciate it. And gentleman,
I get called everything.
You decide to.
If you guys want to do a motion to accept the vouchers.
okay.
Motion to accept.
I second.
Second, all right. Those are in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign, motion carries.
Thank you. Building projects. I'm sure you guys saw in my report, Susanna had an opportunity that she couldn't pass up, so she's left Summit. And I had a phone conversation with the guy who's going to take over being our project lead. And honestly, I can't remember his name. But I'm sure I'll be talking to him again really soon. I did send them these are the flood level certification forms. And they've been filled out, and to my novice eye, it looks like we have 2 feet at Fleming Neon and 1 foot at Blackie that need dry flood measures. They will tell us what we need to do, I'm sure, but these are here if anybody is interested in looking at them. I'm not sure what Susanna leaving Summit is doing as far as timeline. And I know I'm supposed to have a meeting with this guy probably this week or next. And as soon as I find out more, I will let you guys know. We're status quo with Cheryl and Lena's seats on the board.
Okay, let's go back to building.
Oh, okay, sorry.
We're still there. I cannot sleep at night because I'm always leaving the board. We haven't started really anything on the building projects. And I've been looking through this one. You all have this, Blackie, construction documents, all the timeline we have, bid opening, 5/3/2023, construction, documents advertised for bids, and this is Blackie. It should have been advertised on April 12, 2023. Construction documents and approval board meeting, we never came to that one, we never approved it. That was on April 10. And so bid review was on May 3, library construction on 5/15. My question is, what's keeping us from doing any of these?
These were estimates. And
But
she
then
told us that.
what goals do we have? It's been so long. Now, Neon, I understand, it's a bigger project. But I would think that we should be able to start something in Black. It's a smaller project, okay? That's just my opinion, but I would like to listen to really when are we going to start? They are goals, but are we reaching these goals? Now Suzanne has left. What will be the impact of her departure to our schedule of that one?
We needed these before we could finalize the plans, both of them. So we would know how much dry flood measures we have to do. Kevin has those, he knows, and he and the new guy are going through what we need to do.
Mhm. And how soon were these just made? That's why we didn't do it, or didn't we pursue it before we
I
started
didn't
the
know,
project or something? And I would like to know any way I can just to get us started. That's just my thing.
I would like that
yeah,
also.
so I'm not blaming anybody or what. Or
No.
maybe is it our omission?
So this was on May the 9th.
we
Yeah.
didn't know that we needed those. Nobody from the county told us. I didn't know until I had a very upsetting phone call with FEMA, where I basically ended up yelling at the guy that was telling us that we had to have the new flood certificate. And I was like, and that we needed to know where we were in the floodplain. And I'm like, well, then somebody dropped the ball. The county or somebody were supposed to tell us this. And nobody called and told us anything about having those done. And as soon as I found out I had to have them done, I called Kevin. Kevin had a guy that would do the surveys, and they've been done as fast as possible.
Yeah.
I got
What
them.
date is that one?
I got
April?
them and sent them on
This was May the 9th.
to
On the night of this month?
Yes.
I sent them on May 9th. As soon as I received them to Karen at FEMA and to Kevin at Summit. And,
My question is, what can we as a board do to maybe prioritize this, make it more efficient? And that was just blocking, like I said again, compared to Fleming Neon, it should have been started, okay? I don't need to blame anybody on this, but what can we do? Board and Alita
I know
here, and like,
it's frustrating.
it's frustrating, it's just, like I said, I cannot even sleep at night, it's just even my project. And then here's the Fleming Neon, that's going to be the bigger project. And there again, we have the daily design development, which we saw, honor review, which we saw, construction documents, and then of course approval.
I don't think we have anything in writing that says if it's not done, but that particular, this item was not particular like the bids in.
Yeah,
There's no penalty.
exactly, but I think,
So they can do whatever they want.
that's right.
till we
But I
assign.
know, H, that when we were building all these buildings, if there was a delay one day, like we will complete it on so and so, there was a penalty.
The board
They may-
needs,
yeah, yeah.
needs to start and have a item that says if this is not completed by so date, then some penalty should be
Yeah,
involved.
yeah. But, so my next question is, when are we going to start maybe the bidding now? Alita already have
Because
what
they're
we
always,
needed.
they're always going to be the.
Yeah, that's right.
Supply issue.
And the
That's
supply
right.
issue.
Remember the door?
Yeah, yeah,
Jenkins?
that's what I'm thinking. I said, oh my God, if Jenkins door took 8-9 months, how much more for a whole building? And like I said, can we start with Black at least? And maybe finalize
Couldn't
one
start till we had
project. There, you already have it, and maybe have a meeting with Kevin and say, Kevin, here's what you wanted. Can we see the final bidding plan so that we could start advertising it? And then go for bid, and then at least maybe put a date when we could start construction, when we could award the bids and maybe hire our contractor, I don't see anything like that.
Have you
All we
received
see is
any
just
information?
list. And so that kind of,
Supplies?
yeah,
Not yet. We haven't hired a contractor yet,
See,
so we
we-
don't know what supplies we need.
see, that's the
It's-
contractor.
it's
the
that.
contractor.
That's what we were waiting for. And I didn't know until FEMA.
Ally, how long did it take to get this? Not long, right?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
took from when I was told,
Okay,
which was 3 weeks ago,
okay,
until the 9th.
well.
And, you know, the survey actually didn't take long. They
Right.
sent it to me. I think it was 2 business days after the survey was completed, and then I sent it on to the county as soon as I knew that there was a part they had to do. And got it back on the 9th.
Now it's done, right?
It's
Yep.
done.
Okay,
And-
so that should not have taken that much time out of this timeline.
Exactly, exactly. Or like I said, can we start with Blackie? It's a smaller project. And that's just my view.
You're saying, think that it would be good to
Yeah,
get one
to
done.
start one
and then
done and then go to New York. If for good reason, maybe the designs come, the bids come out. And it so happened that we all approve of the bids, open, then start Neo, simultaneous, if ever. But there should be a date. There should be a date that we start building, and the
Yeah, I don't
design.
think the grass is real. You know,
We need that, just like Ray said, our patrons are asking.
for that, every day I stop at, well, nothing. Oh, no.
That's a thing, that's a thing.
Can I say so?
Yeah.
We can't start anything. I mean, we're government. We can't start until bids are,
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
well, we have to wait for for,
Contract.
this is all helped up
We've
at
got
the
steps.
bids. I mean, I think that, you know, now that this is done, we can
Yeah.
get bids, we can get the bids advertised.
Yeah,
But
that's
until
what I-
that's done, we can't, we have to go by the bidding process and we can't do
Yeah, and
that.
there's a step to that, and that I'm not just saying, okay, let's start now. Yeah, I know, we start with the vision, we start with the design. This is what we want to do, the board approved the design, which we all saw, but I didn't think so. We have seen a final copy that this is da. And then they will look over it, they give the footprint, what they call blueprints to the bidders. And then we open, but until, you're right, Grace, and I agree with you, that until we get the bids open, until we get the finalized design of the blueprints, how much inches from the entrance to the door and all that.
Let's see how long it takes to.
Yeah, and then we
Company
could
to-
start,
after- okay, this is May the 9th.
but we need dates too.
Well, now that we got this in,
Maybe they will give us a new one,
yeah,
you know, maybe
What a new one.
like another one with a new timeline.
Oh, I see.
I mean,
I see. Yeah, because these,
Those were hopeful, and this is the beginning dates. And Susanna even said that these are tentative dates. So, and they know we have a lot of red tape and processes that we have to follow. So,
that's what I'm saying, what we ask the board, the staff, do and maybe expedite it a little bit. Could we just do, okay,
It's-
black it?
it's not like we're trying to slow it down, Lena.
And I
we
didn't say
know how
that,
to-
all I wanted to say is, let's
Yeah.
get working
I
and
think what you
prioritize.
want some commitment from the company. to say,
Yeah.
This is what we're gonna do by this date.
Mm-hmm.
So would you, contact the construction company and, give us a
The
date?
architecture company,
Yeah, that's just what I'm saying. I think maybe I might be too
Now that- now that
sensitive
you
or
have it,
something, because
we
we
need
built how
any-
many libraries here?
Do we need any other forms? Not to your knowledge.
not to my knowledge. I will need the requirements for what FEMA is saying we have to have in order for them to give us the money that I've been spending hours with a person for every week. And I don't want that to be like, it's a lot of phone call hours, and I don't want it to be in vain.
Oh, no,
So
I don't.
we're following-
Yeah.
We're following all the requirements of FEMA so we can get the money. Because it's a lot of money.
Here, here's the other one. Like I said, Blackie is a smaller project. But could we maybe, I don't know, we set goals for the date or what, but I think you already fulfilled one requirements, which is a survey. So let's see
After
what's
she
going
gets-
to happen next.
By the next meeting, we should have some information when.
I
Yeah.
hope.
And we would like to see the final blueprint. And I worry that Susanna is leaving. She was the one who presented us all this design. Does that mean is somebody going to take over from their office, Alida, and maybe start? No, I don't think so. They'll start over. Maybe
They
take
won't
over.
start over. We've got,
Yeah.
we're like at the end
Yeah.
of the design phase. We're,
We're ready already.
yeah.
Yeah, we're
really-
committed.
That's what it said,
Committed.
the construction documents are the next line of business in order.
I think, now I'm not certain, but I think the guy that I spoke with, the one that is taking Susanna's place, is not a designer. I think he's a project manager.
Well, this on the timeline is, in fact, they have both libraries going on simultaneously. At
Yes.
the
Which
same
is
time.
fine, which is
Yes.
fine. But
But
like
just-
I said, if we could start one, maybe while we're working the other one, just maybe see things going. We start with maybe Blackie, I suggest Blackie first, maybe it's just, okay, so that's one of the things for the building fund. And a building issue, so
Mhm.
maybe we will come back here and maybe when in June, or at least maybe call a board meeting and say, okay, we have the final design here, board, can we approve this one? And then say, okay, that looks like it's fine, and put it up for bids. If you want it one at a time, that's fine. I'm sure Brian is waiting to really work on this one. And
Maybe just an update. you
yeah,
know,
just
with-
an
Yeah.
update, maybe that's, I think. that
I can
we
ask
are-
him to come to the next meeting too.
And just to see that, okay, we're working on this is how it looks finally, because I
Yeah,
think,
they should be here every meeting, somebody.
well, if we think about the building, yeah,
What
but,
has been done and what they plan to do the next month.
yeah.
Well, they
And,
have been here, you know.
Yeah.
a whole year.
yeah, because it's already a whole year. So my rec center was also damaged badly. They're almost finished, and that's a wonderful, wonderful news. And then, like I said, are we maybe doing our priorities right? And I know everybody likes to do something. Elevator, we're paying elevator for subscription, It's not working since July. And we haven't started to, but they said we need the hydraulic pump for that. Can we find out when they're going to bring the hydraulic pump or something? So we also need dates for that. Security lights outside. Ian said that they're in. Have you tested if they work? So what my point here is we are approving projects here in the board, and then we don't see, is there a right follow-up? Is there maybe a goal next to it that, oh, wow, we already have the lights, it works. I think I like to see that before I leave the board and say, okay, you're on your own, guys. You, Lena, 1 million, and thanks be the Lord, hallelujah, or something.
I
Good riddance.
think it's our fault for not putting specific dates, in writing as to what should be done when. And that's our fault.
Yeah, and I'd like to help any way I can, and maybe to expedite it, and just like I said, and we already heard from Grace, everybody saying when is soon. And then I guess Legina will get the same question when she goes back to Neon, is when will this start? Because we started this on January, February, March, April, May, 5 months, and and we still didn't see the final design. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset anybody or
Well,
blame
it's
anybody. It's
important
just like,
that we
I'm
discuss
just
it.
like,
Like you said, it's been a year.
I probably like to see action. I probably like to see goals set too. And maybe prioritize what we're doing. And like I said, we cannot make it article just be a place to give away books and look how ugly the place is now. And I don't mean it, I know, I understand. But gosh, we need a nice library now where people could sit down rather than just, and relax, maybe give the peace of mind, but we cannot do that. And this is the only working library now. Of course, there's Jenkins, which I think is really nice place, especially outside in the porch. But we like to see our libraries aesthetically clean, aesthetically beautiful, aesthetically accommodating, welcoming. It's especially now that we don't have a blackie, we don't have a neon. So we need something for the people to come and say, oh, our library is working so fine. That's just my piece. So Lena, shut up.
Okay. Do I have a motion over any addition? If not, we'll proceed to Cheryl's seat on the floor.
Same thing. I'm submitting the names. Same with Lena's seat. She's got one more meeting with us.
Yeah, and I'll be quiet, but I just like to see dates. Maybe
We
some
should
people
have
stuff.
something for you.
You'd smother to death if you were fine. Must be Lena.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
just, no, I don't speak too much. I mean, just when I'm so passionate about something that sometimes get controversial, but
Okay.
I mean, well, I really would like to see the library functioning nicely.
I put it wrong in the agenda. It's July to March. You should have this in front of you.
You want this out?
Oh, yours. Okay, I've got a copy of it.
Thank you.
So we're looking at the four darker gray sections of this. I did actual up through March, and the proposed proposed 2013 to proposed 2023 to 24 budget. And I'm just gonna go straight down where we are. We're actually ahead on funds that have come through taxes and other sources. I expected about 450,000 from real property, and so far we've taken in $583,126.74 from real property. And then tangible personal property has been down the last few years, so I wasn't expecting very much. But we've gotten $57,699.70. I know that's because we've people in the county have had to replace things and pay to fix things. So I don't expect that to stay up. Mineral tax, I'm actually not putting it in the budget for next year because I don't think we're gonna get enough of it to really.
I don't think there's many operating lines.
No, and it's any kind of mineral tax. And they're only taxed if they're working mines.
Oh, over at
Yeah.
Dean, there's some at Dean.
Franchise tax. Last year, we took in $202,879.33. And so far this year, we've only taken in $47,219.55. And I know it's because the county's been in turmoil. I'm gonna leave that amount as is in the budget for next year, but I'm not gonna expect us to get that much. Delinquent tax. We're at $17,368.64. So I expect we're right on track for that one. Telecommunications is always like 11,000, so we're right on track for that one. At $848,447.76. Motor vehicles. Last year, we took in 98,000. Right now, we're at $71,351.38. So far this year, we've taken in $785,543.05 out of tax.
Actually, we're ahead.
We are. And I adjusted budget numbers to reflect that next year. But of course, there's always the possibility that because of the flood, those numbers will change again. So we haven't taken in any federal funds so far this year that show up on here. We have got some grant money that's coming from the ARPA grant, where we bought the benches and bought some electronic equipment. It just hasn't shown yet. We have taken in $1,188.79 for photocopies and faxes and printouts so far this year. It's down a little because we weren't charging for a while. We weren't charging for the FEMA faxes. We're still not charging for the FEMA faxes. We weren't charging for printouts. Actually, for the first month or so, we weren't charging for any fax. So if somebody needed to send their medical records. So the next, I made a special line item for flood insurance payouts. And that's the money from the Fleming Neon Branch and the Bookmobile. That's $85,442.80 so far. We're still expecting to get some payouts from the Fleming Neon insurance. We've had $669.35 in refunds, and that's any kind of refund. Like we should be having some E-rate refunds soon. If we've overpaid on anything, that goes in here. Donations. Right now, for the year, we're at $38,930.49. I left that alone in the budget for next year because I'm not gonna guarantee donations. Grants. We are expecting to get Remake Learning Days grants and others. So I left the 600 alone. Interest, we usually get around $2,000 in interest, which is where we're at right now, $2,098.09. And that's from all of the interest bearing accounts, the money market account, the checking the CD, all of those. And that's a subtotal of $128,140.73. So adding all three categories together, $913,872.57. And when you add the money that's in the bank, the carryover, it's $2,246,276.57. Please keep in mind that we're probably going to end up using some of that on the buildings that need to be repaired. To fill holes where FEMA is not, and insurance will not cover everything. Okay. So we are to. Sorry, I thought you closed your book. You just flipped to the page. Okay.
Can I ask a question on FEMA stuff? Are y'all using ER assist, which the county and the city are using for their FEMA
Yes, I have to sign in through the,
reimbursements?
I have to sign in through the FEMA portal and upload.
Talking about the ER
Oh,
assist.
no.
Consultants, and the cities are using.
We're not using a consultant.
Neon is using Nesbitt Engineering for that, not ER Assist anymore.
I have a contact with Kentucky Emergency Management that helps me when I have questions. And they're supposed to be like the go-between between the organizations and FEMA. But I have a FEMA representative that I speak with directly
That's every Thursday.
every Thursday. And I email her the stuff and she uploads it into the portal and
Does FEMA have any questions as far as the war's concerned?
no, but I am still chasing down things for them. We're working on the emergency, the things that we did to start with, like having the basement pumped out because of the hydraulic fluid by Ecotech. And having the basement cleaned out by Lewis Brothers and having Plumbing Neon cleaned out and dried out by Serve Pro. Right now, I just have to report to FEMA where those places, where those companies took what was removed from the buildings, as far as the liquid that was pumped out of the basement, the materials that were removed from the basement, and everything that was removed from Fleming Neon. So this week I'm reporting, if I can get that information, where all the stuff went. And they want like coordinates, not just it went with the county to their dump. Where to where the county was removing flood detritus to. So
They're trying to find who they're gonna pay.
So you were able to get the information, Anita?
I am
Working on it?
hounding them until they give it to me. I've been calling and messaging Ecotech practically daily, because the guy's like, I'll send this to you first thing in the morning, and then it's first thing in the morning and I haven't gotten it yet. So I'm going to continue blowing up his phone with calls and messages and his Facebook for Ecotech until I get the they call it a manifest.
Are they local or they just,
They're London.
oh, okay.
They're in London, Kentucky.
They cleaned the schools, right?
I think, oh, no, this was Ecotech.
Okay.
They're an environmental hazmat company. And they should be able to report exactly where where that stuff went. And I'm sure he can just print out a thing, but it hasn't come to me yet. So I'm going to continue. So last year, we had actual numbers for salaries, $356,244.70. And so far this year, we've paid $295,085.14. I did bump that up a little. I did not do the usual asking Wayne for like the numbers because I know he's going through a lot right now. But I can get the specific numbers. I just raised them all by 10%.
When do we need to get salary raises? Employees?
They would like sooner the better. July 1 is when this fiscal year starts. So if we approve the budget, I have it set so I can give a raise up to 10%.
Cause I know, the raise we gave them last year,
It's
I'm
getting
sorry, but-
swallowed by the economy.
we really did the injustice last year. I beg, but I got voted down. But this year, I hope that we can increase salaries enough. How about insurance?
Insurance went up a little. We are down, medical insurance, we paid $113,732.46 last year, and right now we are at $53,165.64. So we're about halfway there.
Has any librarians, have y'all encountered insurance and to use the insurance?
We use the insurance all the time.
What kind of
Like-
service have you got?
I forget how much the deductible is, but it's.
I think it's about,
35.
$3,500.
$35
Oh,
is your
Not
deductible.
deductible, the
Copay.
copay.
Payment.
Copay.
Like the out-of-pocket amount?
Yeah, I'm talking about the out-of-pocket amount, like before they start
Yeah.
paying.
What is it?
I forget how much it is, but it's,
Let's see,
does anyone remember?
I think it's 70 for a specialist.
No, I mean, how much you have to pay for it.
The first 500.
I think it's
Yeah,
2,000.
that's.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
think it's
probably
two,
something around
I think it's like 2,000, and then
But-
they only.
I'll just use it for specialist.
Well, up until you get
That's
to
enough,
2,000,
something.
mostly got co-pays.
There's something, but we have to do
But,
that before that
um,
happens.
I think we need to look at really,
I ain't seen any information about what it covers,
look at,
nothing.
because you people not making that much money, and I think we need to lower that first, I know in teacher retirement, we got like 500, which is really great. And killing at 2,000, I don't see how you do it.
Did you get deducted
Most people never
before
get
the
it.
2,000?
Right.
Yeah,
We get co-pays up until, unless you need something special or super
You have surgery.
expensive.
Did you
Yeah.
get that from your payroll? You mean, are we talking the same thing?
No,
Or is it when you go visit or go use this
when you
medical
go to the
doctor? Or
doctor,
ER, that's what you're talking.
yeah,
So because I know that they're not deducted for insurance, it's the library who pays for all, but it's individual coverage. Am I right?
yes,
Okay.
and we pay our like co-pays and.
Yeah,
and
your
out-of-pocket.
co-pays, yeah.
Yeah.
You pay for the.
I've never even seen anything
Okay.
where it lists what our co-pays are and stuff.
Okay, so
It's on
we're
your card.
talking, so
It's
we're
on your
talking.
card.
It's 35.
And you can
35,
sign in
right?
on the
I don't know
website.
what all, I didn't know what all covered on the insurance.
So there.
You're supposed to set up an account on the website
We've got,
Patient portal
United-
or with the
with
insurance.
United Healthcare. Yeah, they've got an app you can use and check like who's in your.
Hey,
You sign up this one.
I've never called in.
I'm gonna-
Individual coverage.
Okay.
But they do not
Yeah.
deduct anything from the employer's.
Oh,
The
so
library
yeah.
pays
Yeah,
everything.
we won't have it to do.
Well, the library
Yeah.
pays for us to have
This
it.
is like-
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's standard health insurance.
This is
It is
the-
a dairy.
It's
Now,
I
family,
like I would individual.
Yeah.
750 to 1,500 Ian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's
I
pretty
think-
good. It's
yeah,
pretty good.
Because mine is more like, I'm
No,
a
she called
teacher,
it into
Mine
the
is like,
Walmart for me. I'm gonna find out.
3,000. Minus
It's
three
because we
thousand.
don't pay.
See, but see, I'm not on Medicare. I'm regular. Minus 3,000.
Okay,
Yeah.
is that your deductible?
That's
I mean, I can-
That's
Is that your
yearly out
Much codes.
3,000.
No, I don't.
Do you
But-
hardly use
Insurance, yeah.
We don't. It's nice.
By the
Well, should I
library.
go to here?
It's really,
So he's always been very, very thorough.
They said it's not contagious.
That's what they say, but, well, I got them, and never got them before.
I don't know. Well, we've been around Scarlet and I've had chicken pox as a child, so. Shingle.
Virus, I've never. That's such chicken, I never had anything like that as a child.
Cold.
Oh, got a really good immune system.
But I just
It's on
think
the
we need
very
to,
bottom.
We
if
can-
you
I
have
can-
librarians, let us know what you think about the insurance and what we need to do.
Individual
Already for the
family,
board
it says,
next
it's noted that.
I can get Chris at Hall, well, we do the renewal in January. But it's never too early to start looking at insurance.
Okay.
So I can ask
I don't
Chris
even know
to,
what the stickers stand.
Elena, maybe there's like a kind of
I
Zoom
know you
meeting
have to
or
pay
a
for
Zoom,
budget.
something that they can sign up with their,
Well,
with their. Give them an account, maybe
you gotta go?
Solid codes.
It is
Yeah, I need to-
46.
I need to go
Your eyes.
to. I went for about a year and a half. I
Is it
didn't go at all.
Do you guys
I
wanna
had to get my
Take a look at
prescriptions
this
in
at
there.
home,
And I
Yeah.
started giving
and,
him.
because I don't have to have the budget approved until next month. So we've still got a little time.
Okay.
So look through there, mark anything that you think is questionable.
I go in.
Yeah, I know you think, you'll look at it, you'll look at it. If there's anything like glaring, let me know and I'll fix it before the next meeting. But we'll come back to this next month. Procurement policy addendum in case of an emergency. So when the flood happened and I called Terry Manuel, who was at the time the library commissioner, he said in the state of Kentucky, he retired.
Oh, he did.
Beth Milburn is temporarily, the library commissioner, but Terry Manuel had also been to law school. So he can read the legal stuff and he would tell us, I'm not a lawyer, but
That was the first thing he'd say.
he's a brilliant man. So and he said it's not something that has to be written down. Well, FEMA wanted something written down. So I created the procurement policy addendum. This will go with the procurement code. And I did make one little change before you guys arrived. But basically, it's what Terry told me, but in fancy language. If library property or persons on library property are in danger due to natural disaster or other qualifying event, fire, gas leak, burst water main, electrical fire hazard, etc., or are in danger due to after effects of qualifying events, the library director or any member of the library board of trustees. Sorry, new medication drives me out. Has the right to act to prevent additional damage or harm in the best interest of the library. If possible, the library director should consult with the library board of trustees president before acting. This includes, but is not limited to, hiring contractors or other specialists to complete work to remove the danger, mold remediation, environment or hazmat emergency response, electrician, plumber, general contractors, etc. And I realized after that I should add staff as people that can act in an emergency. So this is my proposed one, and where it says the library director or any member of the library board of trustees or staff has the right to act to prevent additional damage or harm in the best interest of the library.
And make a
Such
motion.
as-
Oh, go ahead. I'm
Such
sorry.
as an emergency, a flood occurs again.
Yes.
Okay. I make a
Oh.
motion to accept this procurement policy.
Okay.
Seconded.
You go.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, all those opposed?
Thank you.
That's
So
a bad.
that's that, and then I just wanted to let you guys know that I've got a guy who's sending me estimates for carpet cleaning at Jenkins and here.
Oh, yeah, you need it here.
We did, well,
Oh, my
the
goodness.
problem is, once a stain is there, it never goes away, no matter how much stain treatment we put on it. So stains in here, stains in the Jenkins meeting room. Sometimes that's cake, and cake doesn't come out. The oil is, yeah, anyway. So I have estimates. If they're reasonable estimates, I'll go ahead and get them to do the carpet cleaning. I know they do carpet cleaning on Fridays after work. And they don't want it walked on until Monday. So we would have to close the two branches on a Saturday each in order to have the carpet cleaned.
What do they recommend about the time for carpet cleaning and extra?
I talked to the last guy that did the carpet cleaning here, said 6 months, every 6 months. And that
Sounds fun.
it,
With the traffic.
yeah, I'd like it to be a year. So, and then the other one is picnic tables. I find it here. I found these picnic tables. And picnic tables, ones that will hold together and are not cheap. It's around $1,700.
Are you putting this?
Jenkins on their deck.
That's wonderful.
I was thinking 2 or 3 of them. It's an 8-seater table. Well, it says 4 adults, 285 pounds. So kids, we could put 8 on, well, 6, because one of those will be a handicapped accessible one. And the other one will be a 4-seater. So it's around $1,799. Well, it is $1,799.95. And then, of course, we would have to pay to have it sent here, have them sent to Jenkins. But I'll let you know for sure how much that's going to be when I order.
Can the porch accommodate 2 sets?
It can accommodate 2 of these. They say it is. It's 78 inches across, 78 inches wide. So it's 78 inches squared, but I'm sure that they're not counting for one of the seats being missing.
6 inches.
And it should fit well on that deck, and we'll just point the.
Is there some way to secure them?
Well, we could put a loop over the top and fasten it to the, but they're 300 pounds. I'm sure a couple of hefty guys could steal it, but I doubt that we need to. I mean, we can fasten it down, we can chain it or get a big.
Just a U-bolt to.
Yeah, a U-bolt and fasten it down.
Not that, you know, I just think we need to be prepared.
Yeah, well, I'm not. Yeah, we can fasten them down somehow. I'm sure that they have ways so that they won't walk off. We can do U-bolts or we can chain and have it go attached to the deck.
So that is a carpet cleaning. And so, okay, I've got one question. Is the office open?
What office?
Your office?
It is unlocked. It's not, it's better than it was, but it's not where you would like it to be.
And we've had 2 months to do this.
No, I had 1 month.
And I think, like, for instance, we've got to store these documents. Where are these going to be stored?
We took boxes downstairs, last week.
But they need to be stored here.
No, the current document goes into my office. Previous audit boxes went downstairs into the.
There's a room there. Is that where you put it? There's the room that,
Yeah,
the, between the,
it's
you-
between
The
the
hallway.
janitor's closet
Yeah.
and the storage.
and
room.
it has a key. I hope it's always.
Oh, it's always locked.
Because that's
There's,
where all the.
it doesn't unlock that
Okay.
door.
That's where the cancel checks are, audit reports, you name it, plans.
Time cards.
Time cards, they're all in that office, and we try.
Some of
to-
those we're supposed to be able to remove from our, like, destroy them after so much time.
Yeah, well, that would be,
But I think by next month, they'll should be in.
and they, they still have those checks made by Bonnie. with
I
their
did
signature.
still have,
Oh,
and
they
thank
still have-
goodness
Yeah,
that they,
we still have all of them. Audit reports, cancel check,
So a box in there to navigate.
yeah, they're still
Here's one down
there.
there.
Because I just wanted to be
Yeah.
sure that nothing is missing or somebody might have.
Oh, no,
gotten some
that one
money.
stays
Well,
locked.
I come in and say one, Approved records, Letcher, 1961. So,
So it's safe and
I would just like to have the stuff stored.
Yeah.
And like for
It
instance,
is
okay, where all.
And
these-
they're all labeled when I was here.
in my office.
Okay.
So
sounds
the office
good.
will be fixed next month.
Sure.
Well, thank
Okay.
you very much.
That's all.
I move to adjourn.
Now,
Oh, is there anything else?
No.
I'm sorry, I'm going. fast.
Nope.
okay.
Oh, my goodness.
Jeanette.
June meeting is the 19th.
Okay, okay.